your early upbringing in Birmingham. How do you think that shaped you in terms of your footballing career? Is there anything you can remember from your upbringing that's made you, have those values that you mentioned in terms of your time at Port Vale?
I think, yeah. I mean, for me, growing up in a multicultural, multi-diverse area in Handsworth in Birmingham was a real eye-opener in terms of in an area, probably was it quite an affluent area growing up in Handsworth, but it was home, and schools from there for me was James Watt Junior and Holyhead as a senior school, and it was never a problem at school, but I had a real eagerness and a hunger for sport, and at the time, Christy, for me, the sport was what I was getting into was cricket. And obviously coming from a West Indian Jamaican background, cricket is quite a big popular sport. And it was only when, my dad really exposed me to football at the age of probably 8 or 9, did I really then start getting my grips or get my claws into football. And that sort of energized me from the age of probably about 8 or 9, and sort of went on to do that really. But growing up in Handsworth was really, really unique. But at the same time, I had football. That was my vehicle really to channel me, to push me on, and something that I wanted to do.
Do you feel like maybe through that upbringing, you mentioned Handsworth and the kind of the cultural element, the different types of individuals and people that you might have come across at that time, do you think that shaped you in terms of your management to understand people and understand how to work with different types of personalities and people?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt, because right across the footballing industry, you're going to work with people from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and certainly growing up in Handsworth, you certainly taught that really from, it's a tough upbringing, but also I was able to be adaptable because where my football took me growing up in that area and took me outside that area into different areas, into different situations, into different countries, all of that growing up in Handsworth as at the early age, and some of the situations I was exposed to can only help and shape and mold you. And that's where that's done with me, and it stood me in good stead really for me now here, managing a football team, managing a football club, managing different people, making decisions every single day, 24/7, that's going to impact people's lives. But you're trying to do it with the utmost integrity of the job really, and dealing with the individuals and the group of people that you do deal with on a daily basis.
Did you have a sense of gratitude from maybe that hardship and that upbringing in Handsworth to where you are today and that journey that you've been on? Do you reflect on, the process that you've been on and the lucky, privileged lifestyle that you've had in comparison to maybe some of the things that do happen in Handsworth?
Yeah, definitely. For me, for what football's given me and helped me and shaped me, without a doubt, I'm so grateful for the professional game. I'm so grateful for all the people that I've came into contact with and worked with, because they've shaped me for who I am today. And I continue to do that, and I continue to rest on those experiences, those values, the ethoses that you've conducted yourself from a very early age going forward, and still applying that to the game and to my life and to my career today. So I'm really grateful for football, and that's why when I've been in it, I've served it with a good purpose, with an integrity, with a caring and an understanding, and a value to all the people that I work with, and a value to the people that I'm consistently working with now. And that has always been something, Christy, that, won't depart from me, and I'll continue to work as best as I possibly can in the situation, and try to bring good times, a feel-good factor to individuals and groups of people that you come into contact with.
Going to West Bromwich Albion, you mentioned being a local lad. Did you feel like that pressure from knowing the area, knowing the surrounding people that would follow you and support you at West Brom, and being from Birmingham? Did you feel that sense of pressure to play at the football club in comparison to maybe other clubs, just for the fact that you're a local lad and people know you as the Brummie playing for West Bromwich Albion?
Yeah, when I came back to play at West Brom, I was at Portsmouth, and then I got brought to West Brom. I mean, it was such a special time for me because obviously growing up in Handsworth, play for West Brom, I came to football because of West Brom. And the reason being was when my dad called me in off the street playing cricket with my friends, he exposed me to a game of football, which was on the TV. That game of football was West Bromwich Albion. And the reason why it was so strong in the black community was at the time, West Brom had the 3 degrees in Brendan Batson, Cyrille, Regis and Laurie Cunningham. So you can imagine for us in the area, proud as punch to see 3 players of that culture and nationality played for your local team. And West Brom at the time were in the top flight. So there was great exposure. And my dad was able to show me a game of that magnitude and explain to the game. And it was from that point for me that I decided that I wanted to go and play football. So for me, the reason that was that West Brom, and then me coming back home into Birmingham and then playing for West Brom, you can imagine me as a local, you know, every single game meant something for me at West Brom because me living in the area, my dad coming back from the Bradford Bakeries, which was across the road from the Albion ground where he worked, and my mum working in the local hospital where they were both always, you know, when they knew that, you know, who their son was, played for the Albion and all the fans and that, you know, they'd come on with messages at the weekend and saying like, is he ready for the game tomorrow? So mum and dad was able to do that. So you feel that added pressure working in and also and living in that area and playing for a local team. And, you know, playing against the derby matches, the games, all those kind of things that adds extra significance because it's an area where you've grown up, lived in, and you hold the club really close to your heart. So it had extra onus. Every time I played for the club, it had extra for me.
Did you enjoy that? You mentioned obviously representing the community and being inspired by some of the role models prior to your journey at West Brom. Did you enjoy that element of pressure to play and prove yourself?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was special because it kept me on the edge. It kept me really sort of burning and loving the game and loving the success that we had at West Brom and everything else. And, you know, I'm really grateful that every time I've gone back to the Albion, that the fans really show their appreciation and everybody at the club shows their appreciation for the time I had there. And it's still one of the first results you look forward to away from the football, just to see how they're getting on and see how things are. And they're in a good position at the moment and doing really, really well. And, you know, potentially could be making another return back to the top flight, you know, if things go well for them this season. So, yeah, for me, growing up then and playing back for the Albion had extra added edge for me, but certainly one that I revelled in and marvelled in and I enjoyed it.